visualize something with me, okay?
Okay.
All right, so ring, ring, your phone's rang.
Hello.
Oh. Hey, it's me, Steven, your husband.
Hi, husband.
I've made a decision about Mother's Day weekend. You want to hear about it?
I didn't know there was a decision to be made.
Well, I'm really excited. I have some great plans for my mom and I. We're going to hop in the car and we're going to go spend a whole weekend together. It's going to be so fun.
What about me? The mother of your child, Brooks. Did you forget about us?
You guys are going to have so much fun celebrating Mother's Day. Bye. How's that going to go over?
He's not doing anything for me,
Well, he's busy with his mom, though.
but like I get nothing.
I mean, he's with his mom. I guess, the baby's going to give you love. I'm sure.
Yes, I would. I love Brooks, and he's going to be with me on Mother's Day. But Steven, I also would like to spend some time with me.
And probably needs to facilitate some of those things, from the baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jerk, 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 jerk.
Well, facilitating a much larger debate today, I think that he's realizing he's going to start is Brian. Brian, can you start this for us today?
I do. I need help. Am I being a jerk? Because I want to go spend Mother's Day. I want to celebrate my mom and not my wife. I think that, my mom's getting up in age, and I feel like I owe it to her to celebrate Mother's Day with her. It's like an hour drive. I'm going to have to, leave town and go see her. But I think my wife is going to be pretty upset about this because she's like, oh, this is my big day. And, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I have to prioritize mom over my wife. I feel bad about it, but I want to know what the audience thinks. Is it wrong to put mom ahead of the wife at this point?
Yeah. Did you drop your kids for? I don't know if you mentioned that. I think that's important to the story that they're for. Is he a jerk?
So why is the wife not going with him to celebrate mom?
Oh, there's an idea. Yeah. They could all be together.
Because, let's say I know our fake conversation of you and I where you're pretending to be Steven and he's saying he's going to celebrate with his mom. Well, then why am I not tagging along either?
I mean, he's just trying to spend some quality time with his mom, I guess.
I don't like the idea that it's one or the other. Why can't they all be spending Mother's Day together? They're both mothers. That's the red flag to me, that it does seem like he's just abandoning his wife.
Kind of seems like you should be able to celebrate, all the moms in your life over the course of the weekend. It does.
And why is your wife having to compete for your attention? Like, I get that, yes, you want to see your mom, but why can't you both go?
So, Brian, we are going to get some votes for you if you can hang tight, but then I think we're going to also have like a side conversation. So just hang on and we will talk to you again here in a moment, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I think there's two things here. One, is he a jerk in his specific situation with what you heard? Because he thinks he's just palling off by himself to go hang out with his mom an hour away on Mother's Day and would not spend any time with his wife until he gets back or whatever. Is that a jerk move? But then also, we were going to have the debate of if a married fella that has children with a woman needs to put priority over one or the other, is he supposed to be choosing baby mama, mother of his child, or his own mom? If he had to choose one or the other.
This isn't really related to this, but it kind of is. 1 year on Mother's Day, I remember my mom her children, clearly I'm in Fargo. Mm-hmm. My sister is down kind of by St. Louis, and my brother's in Utah. We're all over. My sister is closer to my mom, but just the plans didn't work out. No one could be there for my mom in person on Mother's Day. So my mom thought her husband was going to do something, and he didn't. And so she was kind of salty, I think. And he said, "What's going on?" And she said, "Well, it's Mother's Day, and we're not doing anything." And he said, "You're not my mom."
Oh, God.
And now I do get that he's also not our father and everything.
Yeah.
Things are different. But still, I think if there's a woman in your life who's a mother, and she basically mothers him. So And he
Kind of
didn't-
is his mom in a lot of ways.
didn't
yeah.
do anything. That shocked me.
So Playhouse family member Brian, two things going on. One, is he a jerk if he jets off this weekend to hang out with his mom and just his mom on Mother's Day when he's got a 4-year-old and a wife here in Fargo? And also, I guess this great debate of, does one get more priority for a married fellow with a child with a woman than other? You know, is it her or is it the mom, the wife or the mom? Now, do you you want to weigh it if he's a jerk or not?
I mean, it's his mom. They need to do some. I mean, it's his mom, so like I don't know. I kind of understand. I think the wife's being a little intense, and it's like she can also maybe they should just plan something together so that like they each have their own day, but then mom gets a little attention in the morning, and then wife gets more attention later on.
So you would like the idea of celebrating everybody, but if you had to choose which do you think wins, mom or wife?
I think mom wins. I mean, I don't know. She's not going to be around forever, you know?
Someone said, what an idiot. Wife comes first in all things, but you can celebrate both of them, you dummy. And another person said, this is how we do Mother's Day and Father's Day. I'm okay with my husband spending that day with his mom, being he doesn't see her very often otherwise. We learned life is cut short after my father-in-law died 3 years ago. And someone else said, similar situation with my husband and my mother-in-law. My husband goes and meets his mom, and she's about an hour and a half away for lunch, then does supper with my kids and I do lunch with my mom, so it's a compromise. And I'm not my husband's mom.
Who do you think gets priority for a married guy on Mother's Day, his actual mom or the mother of his children?
Ooh, I gotta go mom. She's the OG. Gotta go mom. And if wife doesn't understand that, then that's, we all have mothers, and mom, it's Mother's Day. Mother's Day. The OG mom gets
My priority, is that what you're getting at?
exactly.
I think especially because they got a pretty young kid, I think that's got to sway the ways. Like if one had to get priority, I think he's got to make sure his wife's having a good time.
Agree with this too, because he's part of why his wife is a mother. For this, who gets priority? I can't answer it because I'm on both sides. I want Steven to obviously prioritize me, but then when Brooks is older, you know who I want him to prioritize? Me.
Well, I don't know if you can have it both ways, man.
I know, that's why I'm trying not to answer because it's too hard for me. I want to be the priority.
So who do you think should be prioritized, the mom or the wife? Amy. Huh?
Yes.
No, but which one? Whichever one Amy is.
But so if Steven said, hey, well, we got to do something with my mom this Mother's Day, yes, I would be fine as long as we're both going. If Steven did ditch me, I would feel a little hurt. Hello, I'm how you're a father.
Yeah.
That would kind of bug me. But if we're both there, I'd be happy with that.
It seems like it could be like a day that involves everybody. I can't tell you how many Father's Days and Mother's Days growing up. I know we went to visit like either grandma or grandpa, depending on which one it was. And it was like we were celebrating them and, all the aunts or, mom or whatever. It's just a fun day.
Someone did say take the kids so the wife can have time to herself if he's going to only celebrate his mom. And someone said, happy wife, happy life. You can spend time with both, but your wife should be prioritized.
Is he a jerk if he kind of abandons her and heads to see his mom alone?
Okay, so he is not being a jerk choosing his mom over his wife because the mom, we only have so many Mother's Days left with our moms. And, who else is going to spend Mother's Day with the mom other than the kid? So, I think he's doing the right thing spending it with his mom. And then he'll spend the rest of the day with the wife. The wife can deal. Like, put on your big girl pants.
Someone said, though, mothers who are in the trenches of motherhood get priority.
Okay, so, it's less about, the relationship and more like, hey, this is a person with like adult raised children. This is a person with like little kids that are still getting raised. That's an interesting way to look at it.
And someone said, I don't think he's a jerk. He needs to celebrate with his mom. He sees his wife every day. The wife should understand that. If Steven said that to me.
I see you every day. I celebrate you daily.
I would not understand that. This is the one day where it's like you got to celebrate moms.
I almost feel like a hypothetical situation that you would never be in has made you angry at Stephen for something he would never even do.
I know.
I'm mad at you because Zero pretended to be you in a skit.
Can I tell you, this is because I see both sides.
Yeah.
Yes, you should you want to celebrate your mom, especially because I'm putting myself in a different situation, like for Father's Day for Steven. Well, my father died, so I don't have a dad really to celebrate here on Earth with, where then, yes, I could celebrate Steven. But if like my dad was around, yes, I would want to see him on Father's Day. This is stressing me out so much. My feet are sweating and I'm wearing flip-flops.
I wasn't trying to sweat up your flip-flops this morning. I'm sorry. Who gets priority on Mother's Day, the mom or the wife for a married guy, do you think?
Oh, I think, well, it kind of depends on how old your kids are, but I think it should be the wife. I think your wife gets precedence after a certain point.
I think it seems to be leaning a little more that way. I think.
Someone did point out that, I'm sorry, but anyone could die tomorrow, so it's not a proper reason to trump one over the other. Someone said he's definitely a jerk. He can celebrate both mom and his wife. His mom, mid-morning, afternoon, wife can get later on or the evening. My husband celebrates his mom and me and gives something to his kid's mother as well. And someone else said you can celebrate both. Celebrate mom first and the rest of the day with your wife. We're doing brunches with mom and then myself and kiddos for Mother's Day. Why can't your wife and kids go on the trip to see your mom? Because this is your kid's grandma.
Seems like you could all be together. If for some reason you didn't want to or can't, weekends or 2 days could, like, you see your mom on Saturday. Or I feel like there's a lot of time in this weekend.
That is true. On Saturday, do you go to your mom and spend all day there? Then Sunday, you're with your wife, or like there has to be a compromise.
Divvy it up a little bit. Who gets priority if you had to pick one?
Who gets the first response? I would definitely say the wife, because that's in your household. And I feel like my mom would be like, please celebrate your wife as well. Just knowing my mom.
Yeah, I think that we're probably seeing it lean a little bit more the direction of the wife. I don't know if, Brian, this changes your plans for the weekend or if that makes you feel more or less like a jerk. Or
I think I'm just going to stick to my guns and go make mom happy. Like I said, she's getting up there in age, and just suffer the ramifications of my wife being upset about this.
Yeah, I mean, again, or one of the 50 options we presented to you that would be alternative ideas that would be better, like hanging out with everybody. You know,
everyone
that works too.
going. That's why isn't everyone going?
I would think about some ways to include everybody, but good luck, buddy. Have a good weekend.
All right, thank you.